The noiseless patient spider. I marked where on a little promontory it stood, isolated. Marked how to explore the vacant, vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, filament, out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, oh my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them. To the bridge you will need be formed, to the ductile anchor hold, to the gossamer thread you fling, catch somewhere. Oh, my soul.
There is a silence where hath been no sound. There is a silence where no sound may be. In the cold grave under the deep, deep sea, or in the wide desert where no life is found, which hath been mute and still must leap profound. No voice is hushed, no life treads silently. But clouds and cloudy shadows wander free, that never spoke over the idle ground, but in green ruins and the desolate walls of antique palaces where a man hath been. Through the dun fox where wild hyena calls, and owls that flit continually between shriek to the echo, and the low winds moan. There, the true silence is, self-conscious and alone.
Frame within frame, the evolving conversation is dance-like, as though two could play at improvising snowflakes, six feather-veined evanescence, no two weather alike. All process and no rival. The happier we are, the less there is for memory to take hold of, or memory, being so largely a predilection for the exceptional, come to a halt in front of. But finding one evening on a street not quite familiar, inside a gated November sodden garden, a building of uncertain provenance, peering into whose vestibule we were arrested, a frame within a frame, a lozenge of impeccable clarity, by the reflection, now not of our two selves, but of dancers exercising in a mirror. At the center of that clarity, what we saw was not stillness, but movement. The perfection of memory consisting, it would seem, in the never to be completed. We saw them marrying themselves, never guessing the vestibule that defined them. Frame within frame contained two other mirrors. Thank you.
Oh, where are you going with your love lost blowing, on the west wind blowing, along this valley track? The downhill path is easy. Come with me, and it's easy. We shall escape uphill by never turning back. So they two went together in going August weather. The honey brewing heather lay to their left and right. And there, she was to those on, her sweet lips seemed to fall on the air, like some dim pageant, too sporting to her light. Oh, what's that in heaven, where great cow flake are seven, where bracky cow hang even just at the rain skirt? Oh, just a meteor standards, a messagey, the potenters, and undeciphered sullen signal of help or hurt. Oh, what's that guy quickly, where valley fowls go quickly? The sense comes rich and sickly. A scale and hooded worm. Oh, what's that in the hollow? So high, quite to follow. Oh, just a dead body, which weighs the internal turn. Then again, oh my sweetest, then again, false and pretty, 6 feet away while witnessing I fear this house on track. Nay, too steep for hill mounting. Nay, too late for cost counting. This downhill path is easy, but there is no turning back. Thank you.
I used to want to be a saint, but I only became a poet. I try not to do what I don't want to do because of the love that creeps into things, even in their misery. I try to fly over what I feel and see it, but sometimes I have no choice and can only be it, like an animal. I try to be honestly outside of what does not concern me, and honestly inside what does. I think a lot about what a dandelion in a junk heap does, compared to a dandelion in a tender garden whose every leaf is beloved, and what such flowers, which are weeds, feel. Things like that are what I think a lot about. Sometimes I think there isn't any feeling I like quite so much as the one I get from having written a poem that I like. It's a peaceful feeling that I can't find any other way. Loving you doesn't give me a peaceful feeling at all. Or writing to you. Or writing at all, mostly. There's the panicking feeling I like of being about to blow my brains out. Genocidal shame that makes me dream of stuffing my own organs in my mouth for sweetness, when the opacity of certain people gives me a nauseating whiff of their dead souls. The worlds I had to cross to see this. The things I had to do to myself to write this. The breeze on the fine white hairs of my typing forearms. The lupine flopped over out my window. Another one bites the dust. Another surrender to spring. It's the new moon, and according to all the art people who are into astrology lately, it's going to be a good one. And it isn't my window at all. In 2 days, it will be somebody else's. But we're together right now, like you and me. And right now, I love you completely.
I will do everything you tell me, mother. I will charm 3 gold hairs from the demon's head. I will choke the mouse that gnaws an apple tree's roots and keep its skin for a glove. To the wolf, I will be pretty and kind and curtsies crossing my path. The forest, vocal even in its somber tread, rages. The slope ends in a pit of foxes drunk on rotten brambles of berries, and the raccoons ransack a rabbit's unmasked hole. What do they find but a winter's heap of droppings? A stolen nest, the cracked shell of another creature's child. I imagine this is a rabbit way, and I will not stray, mother, into the forest thick, where the trees meet the dark, though I have no misgivings of light as the hot hand that lookers against my neck. The path ends at a river I must cross. I will wait for the ferryman to motion me through. Into the waves he etches with his oar a new story. A silent girl runs away. A silent girl is never safe. I will take his oar in my hand. I will learn the boat's rocking and bring myself back and forth. To be good is a hurricane of caution. I will know indecision's rowing, the water I lap into my lap as he shakes his withered head. Behind me is a forest. Before me, a field, a loose run of grass. I stay in the river, mother. A steady escape.
Once you said jokingly slyly, if I'm killed, I'll come to haunt your solemn bed. I'll stand and glower at the head and see if my place is empty still or filled. What was it woke me in the early darkness before the first birds twittering? A shape, dissolving and flittering, unsteady as a flame in a drafty house. It seemed a concentration of darkness, burning by the bedpost at my right hand, while to my left that no man's land of sheets stretched palely as a false morning. All day I have been sick and restless, this evening curtained with all the lights on. I start up, only to sit down. Why should I grieve after 10 years of grieving? What if last night I was the one who lay dead, while the dead burned beside me, trembling in passionate pity at my blameless life, and shaking its flame-like head?
In the opposite house, as lately as today. I know it by the numb look such houses have, always. The neighbors rustle in and out, the doctor drives away. A window opens like a pod, abrupt, mechanically. Somebody flings a mattress out. The children hurry by. They wonder if it died on that. I used to when a boy. Why?
The minister.
The minister goes stiffly in, as if the house were his, and he owned all the mourners now, and little boys, besides. And then the milliner, the man of the appalling trade, to take the measure of the house. There'll be that dark parade of tassels and of coaches soon. It's easy as a sign. The intuition of the news in just a country town. Thank you.
I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear. And whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful, you are my world, my truth. And it's you are whatever a moon have always meant, and whatever a sun you always sing. It's you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root, and the bud of the bud, and the sky of a tree called life, which goes higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart.